Little Nutmeg is going to join us today. Hopefully she's going to stick around. We're going to roll those shoulders up, back, and down a couple times. The weight's handy. We'll start with those in just a minute. Bigger movement. Wide legs, wide arms, a little step side to side, and then we step. In a moment, we're going to take it 2 steps to your left in 4, 3, here you go. Melanie, good to see you. All of you, of course. Leave it here, step touch only. Keep that step touch going, or don't, while you grab your weights. Good. I'll meet you here. Arms are going to be out and kind of far away from your body. You're going to add a half of a bicep curl. Tiny movement. Four more. Last 2. Last one, hands on your hips. Hamstring curl. Elbows back, shoulders down. Extend that tricep. And again, you're just doing that last little press. So you barely bend and you straighten. Good. And then we're going to bring those hands to the hips again. Change that hamstring curl into a step touch again. In a moment, we're going to take 2 steps to dog on camera to your right in 4, 3, 2. Here you go. Hands can just stay at your, what do you call these, hips? Or if you want, you can just hold them out for a little extra challenge for your shoulders, isometric contraction. And then we'll hold it here again. We're just holding here at our hips. We're going to add a knee lift this time with that bicep curl. And again, it's just a small movement, halfway in and all the way out. Think about getting to that straight arm part. Good. Then we're going to take that, just hold those arms, turn that into that hamstring curl again, and then move the arms back for a tricep extension. If you did palms to the ceiling back, last time do pinkies to the ceiling. If you did pinkies to the ceiling, do palms to the ceiling. You could even flip it for that French press, we call it, palms face front. Good, and then we just turn that into a step touch. And then we'll go toes in front. We're gonna go back to that knee lift. Hands are here, little press. Again, small range of motion. Few more times. Good, then we're gonna just change it up to a rotation. And then we'll bring that leg across and we'll drop the elbow down a little bit. In a moment, we're going to stay on the right and not completely double time it, just a little bit. 4, 3, 2, here you go. So small range of motion. Knee can be more exaggerated, but smaller since you have weights in your hands. 3, 2, 1. Woo! Rest those arms, step touch. Hold those arms out for that shoulder work again, isometric, toes in front. This time as your knees come up, you're going to squeeze back, shoulder work, posture work. And then start bringing that arm across. Knee comes across your body. In a moment, we'll stay on the left. In 4, 3, 2, here you go. Last 2. And last 1. Rock it, walk it out. Go ahead and set those weights off to the side for me. Nice wide stance. Slow it down, roll through cat, inhale through cow, and just keep that going. Lots of movement through that spine, please. Cat and cow. And then next time you go cow, let's stay there and drop the left shoulder in and roll into a cat and roll into a cow. So a little bit of an angle, cat and cow. And then we'll go back to center, right shoulder in, cat and cow. And back to center, cat and cow. Abs in, shoulders back and down. We're gonna walk ourselves out with a wide stance, wide arms, wide legs. Shift yourself forward, regular push-ups. Actually, spider push-ups. I'm not Spider-Man. Almost there. Beautiful. Walk it back. Hang out for a moment. Bend your knees. Put your hands back on your thighs. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Big deep breath in. Woo, shoulders come back and down. Let's go ahead now. Grab that ball, chair and weights. Everything. You're gonna put that ball between your thighs and give it a good squeeze so you're in a nice parallel position. We're gonna roll up on our tippy toes, working our calves a little bit. If you want to, take those weights, set them on your shoulders. A little extra work. Do your best to pause for at least a second at the top and try and hold. Two more. Good. Hold here on your tippy toes. See if you can bring both weights into your left hand. Put your right heel down, left leg out, toes just barely touching. We're gonna do a big bicep curl as we lift up onto those right tippy toes, working just that right calf. And the left bicep. Ow. Almost there. Good. Do your best to hold up on this one. Go an inch higher, squeeze in a little, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ah! All right. Quick little stretch for that right calf. So step forward with your left. Bend that left knee and press that right heel into the ground. Now bend that back knee a tad. Roll up, turn your toes out and your heel in. Twist those hips so they're straight ahead. Like you would do a warrior one with your feet. Bend that knee and roll it up. Turn that toe in. Hips straight forward, lunge, and bend. We get to do that on the other side. So again, we're going to start with both legs. Rolling up on those tippy toes. Trying to pause for a second at the top. Option to add those weights onto your shoulders. Just let them rest there. Beautiful. Let's hold for a moment. Bring both weights into that right hand. Weight on your left leg. Right toes are just barely touching the ground. And then bicep curl with that heel raise. Almost there. And then see if we can hold it up on this one. Nice, bring that down. We're gonna sit back with that left foot, toes point straight ahead. Bend that right knee, lunge, press the left down. And bend that knee just slightly. Roll up on those toes, turn them out, make sure your hips are still square, press. And bend. And then we'll roll up again, toes in, heel down, press. And bend. Shake that out. All right. We're coming back. You're going to put that ball in front of your right leg and behind the left. And we're going to keep both, let's just start with one weight, and then you can choose to add the other one in a minute. You're going to bend your right knee, stretch that left leg forward, lift that outside arm, lift that toe, come down, lift and down. Isometric contraction on the right, left leg just lifting up and down, left anterior deltoid shoulder muscle. Two more like this. Good. And then we add up. Oh, sorry. Bend, up, come up. There you go. Bend, lift. Right. So now that right knee is bending. So it's 4 steps here. Beautiful. Last time, we're going to bend into it again. We're going to stay there. We're going to lift, lift. Right leg working here. Lift. 2 more, lift, and bring that up. Ball comes right between those legs. We're going to reach out with that left leg, sit back with that right one. And then this time, we're going to come just right out to the side. There I go, sorry. Elbow leads the way. And at the very end, if you want to tip your thumb down and lift that pinky finger as if you're pouring out Thanksgiving wine or whatever. Gravy. Good, 2 more. And relax. Now we're going to step it forward. So the right leg comes in front. The ball is slightly behind the left one. Arm is going to be at the side for now. Reach back and come forward. Reach back and come forward. Now the arm is going to match and come up. So we're getting that rear deltoid, that back posture muscle. We should feel this in that right glute. Few more. Very nice. Hold this one back, bend into that right leg, lift that left arm, hold, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1, and bring it up. You'll stretch stuff out later. Move that chair if you needed it. If you don't, no worries. All right, we start with that ball in front of the left leg and behind the right. We're going to bend into it. And we start with that lift. And that's all we're doing right now. Sitting into that left leg, working that quad, working that glute. Good. Then we come up, sit down, both lift, both down, come up again. Reach, lift, lower, and up. Reach out, lift up, lower, and back. Reach, lift, lower, and up. Good. Beautiful. One more. Reach it out. Lift that arm. Little lift. Little lift. Little lift. Little lift. And little lift. Woo! Ball between. We're going to stretch it out. Reach to your right. Add that left arm if you want. Again, working that medial deltoid, that middle of the shoulder muscle. Turning if you want, that thumb down and that pinky up. Beautiful. Now we'll step in front with the left leg, step behind with the right, arm is by your side for now. Reach back and stand up, reach back and stand up, and then use a nice straight arm, right? So you get that rear deltoid to work. And you bend into it. And we're going to reach back and hold and come up. All right. Back to that first side again. Single weight in your right hand. Fall behind that right knee. We're going to find a position where we can bend the left leg and find that long spine. Left knee is bending as much as possible. Right leg is up. And you're going to squeeze, hamstring curl. I changed my mind about the weight, so you can set it in the chair if you want. Two more. Press it up, heel up. Heel up. Heel up. One more time. Heel up, double time that heel. Lift, lift, lift. This time you're going to squeeze and lift. Squeeze and lift. Squeeze, lift, squeeze, lift, squeeze, lift. Two more. Hold at the top, pulse that hamstring. And relax. Oy. So first we're going to stretch that right hamstring, step it out. Bend that left knee. Send those hips back. Roll those toes up. Roll those toes down. Bend that knee, come on up. Stretch that left ankle across the right thigh. Hit back. Long spine. Round it under. Stick that booty up, cow or turkey, and round it under. All right, we get to do that on the other side. So left leg holds that ball, right knee bends a lot, long flat spine, hamstring squeeze. Good. Press that heel to the sky for 4, 3, 2. Double time that press up. And now add that squeeze and lift. Squeeze and lift. 2 more slowly. Squeeze, lift. Squeeze, lift. Now we pick that up pace. Squeeze and lift. Squeeze and lift. Hold at the top. Pulse that hamstring. And relax. The left leg steps out. Right knee bends. Oh, hamstring stretch on the left. Tailbone long. Roll those toes up. Roll them down. Bend that knee. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Tailbone sticks out. Oh, that should feel good. Roll it under. And stick it out again. Ah, beautiful. All right. We're going to bring that ball into the chair. We're going to just use it for support to sit tall. So once you're down, just lift it up a little bit. Oh goodness, so it's under your low, or it's behind your low back. So your tailbone is a little further back than your low back. All right, and let's start with your right hand below your right knee. Lift that leg up. See that you feel some contraction in that right quad. Bend and stretch it. Left arm, just an easy little tricep extension. Both bend and both straight at the same time. Good, last two. Hold everything, lift a little higher with both, and relax. You can set your weights down for 1 second. Scoot those hips over so the right one drops off. Stretch out that whole hip flexor and quadricep area, arm up and over. And bring it up. Make sure that that ball is at your low back, so it's kind of forcing you into a spinal extension. Left hand holds that weight below the left knee. Lift it up, make sure you feel that quad working. And then we bend and straighten arm and leg. Three more. And relax. Again, you can set those weights down for a moment. Drop that left hip off. Drop back. Arm up, lean back, and over. All right, as you come halfway up, you're going to put the ball in the chair, and you're going to grab your weights, please. You're going to go into a very wide stance and barely sit on your ball. You support yourself at first. Get your feet into alignment so that your knees aren't dropping in nor wider than your feet, because you're going to come up and tap down. Now, options, you can come up on those toes and come down on the heels. You could stay up on those toes the whole time for a little extra quad love. And then we're adding on. You sit down, you serve your platter of turkey lurkey or tofurkey, stuffing, potatoes, popcorn, whatever it is. Two more. Sit down, lift those heels if you can, bend the elbows tiny bit, straighten them, and then play with up an inch, Make it really small, much smaller than what you did a minute ago, so you never get relief. Like up here is relief. Don't do that. Stay down, stay down. Arms all the way straight. And relax. Woo. Hope y'all felt those. Okay. We're going to move that chair out of the way. We're going to head down to our mat. And we're going to continue with a little more booty work. So we're going to come down. We're going to put both feet on the ball. And we're going to have both weights handy. Just to start within your hands. Feet drape over that ball, so toes in front, knees behind, or excuse me, heels behind. Your knees are going to want to gap open, so do your best to keep them together. And you're going to lift up, and you're going to set those weights on your hip flexors, and just keep your elbows on the ground for stability here. But put your index fingers on the weights. Notice again, your knees gapping open, squeeze them together, and we're just going up and down. But I need everything zipped up with your inner thighs, your ankles, your big toes, your knees, they need to be touching. So you're getting the hamstrings are long, skinny hamstrings that are more medial, meaning closer together or more toward the inside of your body. And relax. Take a moment. We're going to hug those knees in with the weights behind the knees for a little extra love for your low back. And then we're going to put just let's do this one. Let's put the right foot on the ground, but roll it forward so that your heel is down and your toe is up. And instead of having my knee directly above my heel is out front. And then again, I'm going to have my weights handy. I'm going to use my left leg to lift myself up. And then we have a couple options. First option, one weight or two weights on your right leg. Again, holding them in place with your hand. And then again, you can do that lift lower. If you want the bigger challenge, that left leg goes up in the air. It can be here or here, wherever you want it. And then again, you can lift and lower for a lot of love. And relax. Let's just get that done on the other side. By the way, sorry, I should have said this sooner. If that wasn't working for you, you go back to the previous one. Otherwise, one way or two on your left hip. Use your right leg to lift yourself up. You can stay here, lift lower, or when you're ready, that right knee can come in or up and you lift lower. Just using your hands to hold those weights on your left hip. And relax. All right. We have one more hamstring exercise. So before we stretch those things out, you can leave your weights where they are this time. Both feet back on that ball. And we're going to lift up. And you want to start with that ball kind of close to you so that you have some space to roll it out and roll it in. Roll it out and roll it in. It's a small range of motion. You're keeping your hips up. You're rolling forward and back. Just two more. And relax. Take that ball underneath your left knee so it can just relax for a moment. Bring that right knee into your chest. Pull it over towards your right shoulder. And draw a big circle on the ceiling in one direction and reverse. Good. Knee back in. Give it a nice tug. Rotate through that right ankle. Sit that right foot on the ground. Let your spine settle for a moment. And then see if you can roll that ball underneath the right knee so it can just relax. Left knee comes in. And again, maybe draw some circles. Go both ways. Knee comes in. Movement through that ankle if that would feel good. I don't remember what we did. So come on back. Put the foot down, let the spine settle. And then go ahead. We're going to start with a toe touch with just the ball for now. So we're going to take that ball all the way down to the ankle. We're going to take one weight and put it across our rib cage so that we're aware of keeping the ribs down. Now, if you want to be extra mean, take the second weight and put it right below your belly button so it sinks your abs in. Deep breath in, squeeze those knees together for now. Lift those shins tabletop. Exhale, pull the belly button in, make sure those weights are secure. Inhale, move your legs away. And then on the exhale, squeeze that ball between your ankles and come up. Now keep going, inhaling as you move away, exhaling to squeeze and lift. With that ball between your ankles, it should be a little unstable. Like this squeeze might create a little bit of wobble, and that's awesome. Right? Yippee. Because then you create that extra challenge. Just two more because we have one more version of this. All right, next version, we kind of switch things up. So take your weights away for now, lift your hips up and put your tailbone on that ball. So we know this one, right? That unstable version, right? And then let's just keep our hands down, but get used to doing that toe touch and then coming back up. Just remember, you don't want to actually touch your toes down because you can see, even if I try and control my abs, at this point, that would put me in some spinal extension. You don't want that happening. If you want to add on, take one of those weights below your knees. So now you have a weight to challenge you to keep those abs in and ribs flat. Heck, you could take that other weight, put it on those ribs or ribs and abs if you go lengthwise. Just a few more. Beautiful. Grab that weight, keep the ball where it is, keep the other weight, if it's on your ribs or your abs, keep them there. And then if you want to, go into that long leg toe touch. You could do a single leg, right? Just remember, at this point, you don't want that low back lifting up. You really want to secure it down. If that changed it and it makes it feel as if you're going up and down, then go back to that bent knee, right? That longer lever adds a little challenge. We're only doing a couple of these. And then you're going to bridge up, woo, and pull that ball out from under you. Put it between your tummy and your thighs and just give it a big squeeze. Then we're going to roll halfway up so that ball can go between your shoulder blades. Grab your weights. Actually, just have them handy for now. Bring your hands behind your head, not interlaced, but just resting your skull here. To inhale up and over and to exhale to close, right? So this is that negative to neutral exercise. But if you want to make it a little more challenging, put one weight in between your hands. Just be careful, don't lean your head against the weight, right? And don't put it on your neck. And if you want even more challenge, you put both weights there. And this is not about the coming up part. This is about going up and over so your ribs pop up and then closing them down. So it's a small movement to get that full pre-stretch before we actually close down. Now, if you want to be mean to yourself, you can squeeze your head between your arms. You have to crisscross so that it'll get cradled and hold those weights. And you have that long lever plus the weights. That's going to create a lot of neck tension. So if that's too much, don't do it. We just have a few more of whatever you're doing. Beautiful. And we're just going to roll forward till that ball comes underneath our head and we get to relax for a second. All right, what we did a few minutes ago, putting that ball between your thigh and your chest, you're going to do that. You might hate this one, by the way. Then you're going to put both weights on your ankles. You're going to bring your forehead to your knee. So without dropping your weights or your ball, exhale, roll like a ball. Inhale at the top, exhale to roll, inhale to pause. So if you lose the ball, it just means that your knees moved away from your chest, which means you might be using a little bit of kicking momentum to come up. 2 more times. Good, last time, come up, stay up. Let's set that ball underneath us for a quick little spine stretch. So sit up nice and tall, legs are wide. Remember, when we have the ball for this advantage, you want to sit towards the front of it so that the back of it helps tip your pelvis. And then hinge. And you may want to come a little straighter with your legs, and you might even want to roll all the way off the front of the ball so you still have that pelvic tilt or tip. And then you're going to go ahead and come just enough forward that that ball supports you right at your sacrum. So you're in that roll down position without really even having to work. So you're just holding here. Let's open those arms, tap your knees. Open those arms into a V, tap your knees, Open those arms overhead, tap your knees. Check that your abs and your ribs are pulled in. Grab a single weight, deep breath in, extend it up in front of your knees and back. Up on an angle and back, and then as much overhead as you can tolerate, and then back down. Let's add a second weight. These are additions, you don't have to do this, right? From where you are, open the arms into a T, come back to center, into a V, and back to center, and last overhead in an I, and back to center. So now you have a few versions, and now here we go, right? So you're back, you might choose no weights. I'm gonna do these, keep going with me, please. You could have a single weight, low, medium, high. You could have double weight, T, V, I. So whichever you're doing, you have three things. So I want you to do that 4 more times. So 12 movements here. And you can break them up and do all of those if you want. Should be talking to have done 12. All right, let's switch over facing the front here. And we'll do a quick round of clam for that outer hip because we didn't do that yet today. Both weights are going to stack on that top thigh, and I'm just going to use that hand to hold in place. Arm is resting under your ear, waistline is off the ground. Top leg lifts as a unit, knee and ankle come up at the same time. Good, and now we're going to pivot those toes, open heels together and open. And now we're going to leave the knees down, legs and heels in the air, and we go again. And take a rest. We should have felt that in that outer hip. And then we're going to do our side plank. Since all of y'all have been with me before, I'm going to go right into the balance. But you know, if that doesn't work for you, you do your side plank and the ball is underneath you and you just lift away from it. If you're doing the balance with me, bottom leg on first, top leg up, and then you come up. And if you had the ball underneath you, it would just be squeeze, lift, squeeze, lift, squeeze, lift. And relax down. We're going to do those 2 things on the other side. So bend those knees, everything at right angles. Stack them on up. Weights on that top leg. Little mouse house underneath your waist. And then we lift the leg as a unit. Good. Ankles or heels pivot together. Beautiful. Knees down, heels up, pivot. And relax. Give that hip some love. We're headed into that side plank. So again, that ball can be right here underneath your hip where you tap and lift. If you want to do the balance with me, bottom ankle goes on first, leave yourself some space, top foot, and then bring it up. And then again, if you had that ball underneath your hip, it'd be a dip, lift, dip, lift. And gently down. Let's bring that ball to the front of the mat as you pivot onto your abs. Put one weight on each side of your mat for me, please. Legs are long, toenails are down, kneecaps are lifted. Hand on top of that ball, deep breath in. Exhale, press onto the ball to lift your head. And then inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Tiny lift, but most of it coming from the upper back, not the lower. And down again, deep breath in. Exhale, lift, stretch, roll. Kneecaps are lifted if possible, toes pushing into the ground and down. Press and squeeze. Just a couple more here. And relax. You can just leave that ball where it is. Take your hands underneath the weights that are on each side. Turn your palms to the ceiling. So you're holding the weights like that. Again, toenails down, kneecaps lifted. First thing you want to do is lift the shoulders so that the shoulders aren't rolling forward on the mat. So lift them up, already engaging the muscles we want. Bring your forehead to the mat. Lift your arms up. And then slide your hands down your legs to lift a little higher. And relax. Deep breath in. Exhale, shoulders lift. Arms stretch and reach on the inhale. And exhale down. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, shoulders lift. Rest of the body up on that inhale. And exhale down. Keep that going for me. And relax. And lastly, we will press back. You can use that ball if you want for your shell stretch, putting it behind your knees to give yourself a little more space, if you like. And then we're going to roll through as you come onto your hands and knees, ball between those thighs, turkey, and cat, and turkey, and cat. Beautiful. Let's go ahead, spin over onto our spine. Let's bring that ball behind the right leg. Give it a nice squeeze. Bring that leg over. Take some rotations. And go the other way. Good. And then we'll use that ball to help push the hamstring down and the shin toward the ceiling. You can use that right hand to pull those toes back and get some mobility through that foot. And then we'll roll that up, pointing those toes, and then lift yourself up, flex through the heel, slide your left leg out, lift yourself even higher, let go, let that right leg come down. And then cross that right ankle over the left thigh, just pivot open. Reach around, grab your left hamstring, thread your needle, push that right leg open with your right elbow if you like. Left leg goes up, maybe some movement through that left ankle. And then finally, we crisscross knee over knee. If your weights are handy, feel free to slide your hands underneath as you drop your knees to the left. Up and over we go, uncross, take a moment, and then we'll hug that left knee in with the ball behind it. Create a couple circles, and go both ways. And then foot comes in. We'll use the ball to push the hamstring down and the calf in perpendicular, and then we'll move through that left foot. Stretch it out. Bring everything back through center. Ball behind that left leg. Right leg stretches. We're going to lift up and flex. And then gently bring that down. Take a moment. Feel hopefully an opening across that left thigh. Right leg, left crosses over right, and we open. We'll thread our needle. You can use that left elbow to push that left knee open. And then right leg extends, movement if you want through that ankle and foot. And then finally knee over knee, bend them both. Slide your hands under your weights and let the knees drop to the right, please. And then back through center, rolling up, finding your way over to your hands and knees. And hands out front for your turkey, and your cat. And one more time. Bring it all back. Let's tuck those toes, press up. Feel free to pedal out your ankle or your feet if that would feel good. Wide stance, nod yes and shake no, bend your knees, roll through cat here. Inhale turkey, gobble, gobble, gobble. And Christy. Well, happy turkey lurkey tofu turkey day tomorrow.